So welcome everyone. My name is Anne-Marie Tho, and I'd like to welcome you on behalf of the Next Generation Leadership Collective Strategy Group to our Changemaker Connect Forum. This forum will be conducted in English and French. We're delighted to have Nancy Jamos as our interpreter. If you would like to switch between languages, you can do this by selecting the interpretation option on Zoom. Simply click on the globe icon, as you can see on the screen here, which you should see at the bottom of your screen. If you don't see it, please click on More and it will show. Then you can choose either English or French. You also have the option to mute the main room audio if you would like to only hear the interpreter. I will speak in English, as will the first two speakers. Then one of the speakers, Clémentine, will be sharing her part of the story in French. If you need any assistance, please feel free to ask. For those of you who have joined these forums before, they have been taking a slightly different approach in that they focus on hearing the stories of groups and organisations that navigate food system challenges by working collectively to try to accelerate progress towards a well-nourished world. And so in these forums, we recognise that these collective actions are taken by both women and men working together and are therefore inclusive of all genders. As a reminder of how our forums work, we will start today with a poll question just to get to know who is attending. We will then hear the inspiring story of three women who, through their efforts via youth peer networks, are contributing to transformation of food systems in Africa. I will introduce them in more detail in a minute. After this, we will divide into breakout groups to reflect on the story we have just heard and discuss two questions that we will share with you. We'll then reconvene for an open discussion where you'll have the opportunity to ask questions and report back from your breakout rooms before we finish up. As a reminder, only the main room session and the open discussion will be recorded, whereas the breakout rooms are private, safe spaces for discussion and reflection. So very quickly, I would like to ask you to click on the poll link that is in the chat and tell us briefly about yourself. It's great to see people from all over the world joining. And thanks so much, everyone, for introducing yourselves. It's really wonderful to have people from so many diverse places joining us today. So today's session will be led by Tashi, Christine, and Clémentine. Tashi Piprek holds a postgraduate diploma in sustainable development and brings 6 years of practical experience in urban agriculture and environmental education. Her work spans a range of impactful projects aimed at promoting sustainability and resilience in urban environments, including coordinating the AfriFOODlinks Youth Ambassadorship Program, where she empowers young leaders to drive change and advocate for sustainable food systems across Africa. Her dedication to fostering environmental stewardship and sustainable development makes her an influential force in the field. Christine Bonareri is an AfriFOODlinks Youth Ambassador and the visionary founder and CEO of Mvuvi. Please correct me, Christine, as you go, a company revolutionising the fish processing industry around Lake Victoria with sustainable innovations. Holding a Bachelor of Science in Industrial Chemistry, she integrates her scientific expertise with a passion for food security and environmental sustainability. Under her leadership, Mvuvi's flagship solar drying technology enhances fish processing, reducing spoilage and maintaining quality while minimising environmental impact. Christine inspires young people to champion sustainable diets. Her leadership and innovative mindset drive impactful change and inclusive growth in the food sector. Bakole Clémentine from Bukavu in the Democratic Republic of the Congo is an AfriFOODlinks Youth Ambassador and an influential entrepreneur in the agri-food sector. She is the founder of Maypeb Energy, a company that produces sorghum wine and also deals in fruit processing. She has been an entrepreneurial coach and youth ambassador for the AfriFOODlinks program since June 2024. I will now leave the floor to Tashi, Christine, and Clémentine to share their story. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Anne. Hi everyone, I'm Tashi. I was born in Joburg in South Africa, but I'm now based in Cape Town. I've always been passionate about creating spaces where young people can thrive, and that's exactly what led me to becoming the coordinator of the AfriFOODlinks Youth Ambassadorship. So the AfriFOODlinks project represents a vision where food security, environmental stewardship, and youth empowerment come together to influence urban food systems for the better. When we think about the challenges facing our food systems across Africa and Europe, it's clear that we need to do things differently. We need to put our young people at the heart of transformation. AfriFOODlinks is also more about just AfriFOODlinks is about more than just addressing food and nutrition challenges. It's about creating a movement that spans 15 African and 5 European cities, weaving together a diverse network of voices and experiences. I've seen firsthand how this network brings people together around a shared goal. For example, project cities are clustered into groups, and then they have the opportunity to travel to one another's cities, participate in site visits, and engage in participatory governance processes in the host city. AfriFOODlinks was really designed through a strong systems lens and places a lot of importance on relationships. AfriFOODlinks weaves together a network of diverse voices and experiences, all united in this quest for impactful change at the intersection of food, health, and the environment. One of the most exciting parts for me has been watching the outcomes from the Youth Ambassadorship program. Clémentine and Christine are both AfriFOODlinks Youth Ambassadors and will be sharing their stories in a moment. So the youth ambassadors are really the voices of the project and share project messaging through social media, through platforms where they really focus on storytelling, like creating reels, writing articles, and they have the opportunity to go into their cities, interview different people in the food system, and then amplify the messaging coming from those people into their broader online audiences. So they're not just talking either, they're also making things happen. AfriFOODlinks youth ambassadors also participate and organize city level exchanges or city level activations where they invite people from from community, NGOs, project partners, and young people to participate in a coordinated event of their choosing to really excite and inspire people about an aspect of the food system. Above this, they're also highlighting overlooked dishes and ingredients from their cities, sharing stories that often go unheard and bringing fresh perspectives into the conversation. But building this kind of network, the youth network, and then maintaining the broader AfriFOODlinks network isn't easy. It takes time, dedication, and a lot of collaboration. Each city involved has its own team made up of city officials, partner organizations, researchers, and of course the youth ambassadors, all working towards a common goal. It's incredible to see how, despite different mandates and contexts, everyone is united under the project values, which we call links, the links in AfriFOODlinks. Learning, inclusivity, sustainability, novelty, and collaboration. Through a mix of online and in-person activities, I've had the privilege of connecting with so many passionate people across borders. I've seen clusters of cities hosting exchange visits, sharing knowledge and learning from one another. Further, virtual platforms like webinars and WhatsApp groups keep these conversations going strong. Virtual platforms, and in the middle of all of it are the youth ambassadors, documenting stories, connecting with stakeholders, engaging wider audiences through social media and these city level activations. It's been amazing to watch their energy and creativity in action. Of course, I've also seen challenges. fragmented governance, environmental degradation, cultural barriers, language barriers. It's a lot to navigate, but AfriFOODlinks is tackling these challenges head on and unlocking youth-led innovations to strengthen local food systems and create pathways for more inclusive economic participation. So in each city, there's a pilot project selected from a bunch of young entrepreneurs that have submitted uh, their businesses, and these get selected and then incubated in each city. AfriFOODlinks is so I've also watched this project evolve into a vast knowledge network, bringing together researchers, city officials, agribusiness, entrepreneurs, and youth to develop these pilot projects together. In certain cases, really innovative projects, and in other cases, simple solutions that just need a bit of backing. There are also a lot of hurdles in this kind of network building: language barriers, geographic distances, political misalignment, but we keep pushing forward. I'm especially committed to ensuring that women have the support they need to step into decision-making spaces confidently. And as the youth focal point, it's something I'm personally very passionate about. I want to see more young women leading, advocating, and building their own enterprises within the movement. As we dive deeper into the impact of AfriFOODlinks, I can't wait to share some of the inspiring stories from the ground. I've had the pleasure of working closely with Christine and Clémentine, two incredible youth ambassadors and entrepreneurs in their own right, who have shown remarkable leadership in their communities. I'm thrilled for you to hear their stories and experiences within the AfriFOODlinks program. Over to you, Christine.
Thank you so much, Tashi. My name is Christine Bonareri. I am currently in Kenya, Kisumu. We have the lake. I am the founder of Mvuvi. Mvuvi is a Swahili word meaning a fisherman. So at Mvuvi, we usually process fish harvested from Lake Victoria. And when I talk about fish, I mean omena. Omena is a type of fish, a pelagic fish, that is vital for feeding the animal and human population. What led me to join the AfriFOODlinks was the challenges I saw in my community. As a founder of Mvuvi, I was deeply concerned about the growing food insecurity, poor nutrition, and environmental degradation we were facing. Fish stocks in Lake Victoria were reducing largely due to unsustainable practices like the traditional open sun drying of omena. This method, though widely used, was inefficient. Fish had a short shelf life, and the waste left behind was washed back into the lake, polluting the water and reducing the oxygen levels. This drove the fish away, further harming our livelihoods. The women who relied on drying and selling fish were really struggling. Their products were losing market value, and they were earning less each day. Watching them work so hard with diminishing returns fueled my desire to find a solution, and that's when AfriFOODlinks came into the picture. Their vision of integrating food systems and nutrition into local governance was exactly the kind of long-term solution we needed in our village. Through the AfriFOODlinks peer-to-peer network, I found a community of leaders who are facing similar challenges. We exchanged ideas, shared knowledge, and supported one another from time to time. For instance, I connected with other leaders who had successfully introduced new technology to improve food preservation. It was through this network that I was introduced to the solar drying technology, an idea that came up through shared experiences and discussions with other members. They shared contacts with experts, and we exchanged technical expertise on how to adapt to this new solution to our specific needs. Their feedback and guidance helped us not only to adapt to this technology, but to amplify my voice as a leader and to advocate for this implementation in my community. One of my biggest challenges was involving the women who are traditionally drying the fish in the open sun. As a youth leader, I didn't just introduce the technology. I actively worked with the women, involving them in the decision-making process. I held workshops where they could voice their concerns and ideas, and together we mapped out how this change could benefit their work. By lifting them up, navigating conflicts, and addressing barriers, I was able to ensure that they embraced solar drying as their own initiative. This wasn't just about providing a solution, isn't it? But about empowering the women to see themselves as part of the solution. They regained pride in their work, knowing that the efforts were contributing to higher quality and greater market value. Since joining the AfriFOODlinks, the impact has been clear. Fish stocks in Lake Victoria are now starting to recover. Our women are more empowered with better incomes, and the community feels more united in its own effort to protect the environment and secure food for the future. This journey has shown me that when we come together, share our knowledge, and embrace innovative ideas, we can not only solve the challenges before us, but also create a more sustainable and prosperous future for all of us. Let's all create a greener future for the future generations. Thank you. Over to you, Clémentine.
Merci beaucoup, Christine. Bonjour à tous, je suis Clémentine Bakole et Mayori. Je suis actuellement à Bukavu, en République démocratique du Congo, dans la province de Sud-Kivu. Donc, je suis la responsable, l'initiatrice et aussi la fondatrice de MAPEBENIDI, qui est une micro-entreprise qui œuvre dans la transformation agroalimentaire, précisément dans la transformation du sorgho et de fruits. Alors, Bakole, MAPEB, c'est juste les initiales de mes noms. C'est un sigle, les initiales de mes noms, mais Energy, ça veut dire juste l'énergie que je portais en moi quand j'ai créé cette entreprise. Alors, je suis aussi ambassadrice à AfriFOODlinks dans le cadre de la promotion des systèmes alimentaires. Pourquoi est-ce que j'ai rejoint AfriFOODlinks? Alors, j'ai décidé de rejoindre AfriFOODlinks parce que je crois fermement au potentiel de transformation du secteur agroalimentaire en Afrique en général. En tant qu'entrepreneur spécialiste dans la transformation des produits locaux, j'avais rencontré des limites dans ma capacité à exercer mon leadership et à garantir la satisfaction des personnes qui m'entourent. J'ai recherché un réseau qui favoriserait l'innovation, l'échange des connaissances et des soutiens entre pairs afin d'améliorer nos productions et notre impact sur la communauté. Mes objectifs avec la création de MAPEB étaient à la fois économiques, mais aussi sociaux, visant à générer des revenus, comme vous savez, pour les femmes et pour les jeunes, parce que ce sont eux, en tout cas les personnes vulnérables, en manque des ressources financières. Et pour les jeunes, et aussi les jeunes, pour y parvenir, il était question de faire la transformation locale, pour transformer les produits locaux, comme les sorgho, un produit qui est vraiment cultivé en abondance, mais qui est dérisoire dans sa manière là, qui n'est pas prise au sérieux ou dans la manière de rendre la valeur du sorgho, et aussi de fruits qui se retrouvent pourris partout. Alors, ces produits sont cultivés par des jeunes femmes et des jeunes en général, et des femmes aussi âgées, tout en orientant vers la chaîne de valeur rentable. Donc, il fallait faire ces produits-là, on les cultive et on les oriente dans une chaîne de valeur qui sera rentable et aussi ajouter de la valeur sur le marché. En découvrant maintenant l'offre de AfriFOODlinks, je me suis dit immédiatement que je devrais postuler sans raisonner deux fois. Alors, les défis auxquels j'ai été confrontée en tant que leader de la communauté, c'était d'abord les défis sociaux, aussi politiques, mais financiers, notamment manque d'accès aux ressources essentielles telles que la terre agricole, le marché et des infrastructures routières. Nous, dans notre pays, il n'y a pas vraiment de route. Alors, en tant que femme aussi, l'accès à la terre pour cultiver n'est pas garanti dans mon pays. C'est seulement en intégrant le réseau d'entrepreneurs que j'ai appris à naviguer dans les situations comme comment discuter avec les sages du village pour obtenir une terre à exploiter ou convaincre les habitants d'accepter de travailler pour moi, malgré que je sois encore, je ne suis pas mariée. Alors, sur le plan du marché, les jeunes entrepreneurs rencontrent rencontrent des grands obstacles, des problèmes. Premièrement, l'accès à des espaces d'exposition est souvent prohibitif, trop cher par rapport aux revenus des entrepreneurs. Et deuxièmement, les grands importateurs, alors les grands importateurs sont également les puissants commerçants qui n'acceptent pas que les jeunes entrepreneurs exposent dans leurs grandes surfaces. Cela nous limite, nous les entrepreneurs, à une clientèle aussi restreinte. Pour moi, en tant que femme dans l'industrie vinicole, c'est pas facile. Cela soulevait également des questions sur la connaissance de ma capacité à proposer des produits et non seulement sur la qualité de ces derniers. Cependant, grâce à des réseaux de jeunes entrepreneurs comme AfriFOODlinks, nous, dans nos collaborations, on a créé nos propres marchés, notamment par le biais de plateformes en ligne et d'espaces physiques d'exposition. On plaide entre nous et on a un espace d'exposition. Et les techniques aussi de transformation artisanale peuvent s'avérer peu efficaces et l'accès au financement pour le projet innovant demeure difficile. Par exemple, pour mon entreprise, MAPEP a eu du mal à accéder au financement. Mais c'est grâce aux échanges d'expériences réussis au sein d'autres réseaux que j'ai appris qu'on pouvait créer ce qu'on appelle les AVEC. Ici, chez nous, on appelle l'Association villageoise d'épargne et de crédit. Alors, grâce à ça, ce qui renforce notre crédibilité et la confiance entre pairs, les membres du réseau, mais aussi, ça crée aussi des éléments cruciaux dans la cohésion des jeunes. Donc, c'est comment ça se passe? Je vais vous expliquer comment ça se passe avec les AVEC. En fait, je suis en train d'épargner, j'amène dans le groupe, je parle petit à petit, mais après, comme on est nombreux en train d'épargner, alors notre épargne servira à un des jeunes pour qu'il puisse investir dans son entreprise. Après, il va rembourser cet argent avec intérêt pour le bien de la communauté. Alors moi qui étais en train d'épargner, je vais non seulement obtenir l'intérêt dans ce que j'épargnais, mais ça sera aussi aider l'autre de se développer, ainsi de suite. Donc, ça, c'est le tour de celui-ci pour la première fois. Ça entre maintenant pour notre deuxième personne qui va aussi récupérer cet argent-là, ainsi de suite. Parce que, tout simplement, en fait, ça, ce n'est pas du tout trop comme si une banque venait vous donner de l'argent directement pour commencer à travailler avec, mais quand même, ça aide à l'évolution et on voit plusieurs jeunes qui intègrent petit à petit dans les secteurs entrepreneuriaux. Alors, ces défis-là m'ont motivé pour rejoindre le programme comme AfriFOODlinks afin de partager des solutions et promouvoir collectivement des pratiques durables en Afrique. Alors, comment ces réseaux peer-to-peer, peer-to-peer, pour devenir un leader plus fort dans ma communauté en utilisant notre réseau peer-to-peer pour échanger des idées d'expérience en Afrique. Nous sommes souvent, vous allez voir qu'en Afrique, nous sommes souvent confrontés à des défis similaires. Ces échanges nous permettent de trouver des solutions, de prendre des mesures préventives et aussi d'établir des partenariats avec d'autres leaders et agriculteurs. Cela m'a permis de développer des méthodes plus efficaces et de renforcer ma voix dans ma communauté, où j'encourage d'autres jeunes à adopter des techniques de transformation modernes et durables. Par exemple, dans le domaine agricole, nous avions été confrontés nous avions été victimes de vols par des villageois parce qu'on ne cultive pas dans la ville de Bukavu, mais plutôt dans les périphéries de Bukavu. Et un autre entrepreneur africain qui m'a parlé de comment est-ce qu'il est parti voir le pasteur du village Et après cela, il a résolu le problème là du vol parce que le pasteur, il a prêché ça. Alors, nous avons adopté ça. Nous sommes allés plus loin. Nous avons parlé avec tous les leaders religieux du village. Et de là, plus question de vol. Donc, des gens ils commencent à respecter nos produits parce que, tout simplement, ce sont le pasteur et les leaders religieux qui en ont parlé. Donc, c'était vraiment très utile et pour nous, c'est utile. Et pour ça, je partage avec d'autres personnes qui ont des problèmes parce que déjà en Afrique, nous, on suit vraiment la parole du leader religieux. Alors, les résultats que j'ai déjà constatés, c'est que grâce à mon engagement dans ce type de réseautage comme AfriFOODlinks, je constatais une augmentation significative dans la productivité de mes activités, des transformations et une amélioration de méthodes d'emballage. En tout cas, si vous voyez mon produit, l'emballage, c'est vraiment stratégique. Et mes stratégies de vente. Alors, la qualité de mes produits s'est également améliorée, tout comme mes relations avec d'autres entrepreneurs. J'ai perfectionné ma communication et mon orientation au sein de l'entreprise. Avant, nous avions des problèmes de répartition des tâches, mais aujourd'hui, je suis capable d'identifier des compétences de chaque membre de mon équipe et de le positionner de manière à optimiser leur performance, ce qui est bénéfique pour l'ensemble de l'entreprise. Voilà, je vous remercie. C'est à toi, Tashi.
Merci, Clémentine, and thank you so
Merci.
much to all of you. We really appreciate you sharing your inspiring story. In a moment, we'll go to our breakout rooms to discuss the following questions. The first question is, the AfriFOODlinks network seeks to build a peer network across language, geographic, and political barriers. In reflecting on your own work, what divides do you have to navigate? What would it look like to make your work more inclusive? The second question relates to the way in which AfriFOODlinks seeks to challenge inequalities within the food system, particularly for women and youth. What inequalities do you face in your work, and how do you build meaningful solutions that don't perpetuate existing power imbalances? Now you will receive a poll on Zoom to select your preferred language, English or French.
Cool. Yeah, so the AfriFOODlinks project, there's so many great examples that are coming out about challenges in networks arising, different value systems, language, geography. And I think as the youth ambassadorship coordinator, a lot has changed in how I also approach my work with the youth. So a small example is originally when we started, the tone and the way that we were communicating with potential youth ambassadors was quite formal. It was all via email, and I think the language was quite formal, and we just found that the newly onboarded youth ambassadors were really struggling to actually engage and connect with us and to create content. And so I pivoted quite quickly to WhatsApp-based communication and also creating smaller peer clusters within our youth ambassador cohort. And I just found it interesting that since then, the quality, the quantity of stories has improved so much. And you can see that there's learning taking place as well. Like some of the youth are really strong entrepreneurs, some are really strong communicators, content creators, poets, and that there is this exchange taking place, whether it's very deliberate or not, in how stories are told. And I think that storytelling itself as a skill can grow despite the different language and geographic and value barriers is quite amazing. And then, and in a more practical sense, the youth ambassadors have also been connecting with each other in person outside of the project. So Clémentine, for example, and the youth ambassador from Senegal were both nominated to represent at the African Food Systems Forum in Rwanda recently. And so they met each other there. And there's some examples of the youth being able to travel to each other's countries and then always being deliberate about meeting up, which I think is such a strong testament as well to their own commitment to building and strengthening the network. Yeah. So without kind of rambling about the project too much, because I really do care about it and I have too much to say, I know firsthand that there's a lot of practical challenges with network building in general, and a lot of them can't be easily solved. But for example, this forum discussion is a bit of a testament to some of us, like how we're trying to cross these barriers with language, for example, and yeah, and in a daily, more informal way, you know, we have to communicate between French and English youth ambassadors, and yeah, and look for tools to try and facilitate exchange in a more productive way. And I think it's happening, but not all these things are as easily solved, like the geographic barriers and take challenges. But what's next? So with AfriFOODlinks, later this year, we're hosting an in-person consortium meeting where the city officials, partner organizations, and youth ambassadors will all be meeting in Cape Town for an in-person meeting, which will include an intergenerational dialogue facilitated between Anglophone and Francophone city officials and youth ambassadors. And the session will be facilitated and designed specifically to address power imbalances between generations, genders, and designations, with a goal of co-designing a strategy for more inclusive and innovative food systems governance. So if you'd like to read more about AfriFOODlinks more generally, and also follow the youth ambassador stories, I'd be happy to share some links in the chat. But yeah, it's been really wonderful to just connect in the breakout rooms and also to be able to share our story. I'd really look forward to connecting, yeah, more with some of the participants from today in the future. So yeah, please do reach out. Thanks so much. Over to you, Anne.
Thank you so much, Tashi. Can I ask, are there any questions or comments following the breakout discussion for our amazing speakers? We'd love to hear from you, and please do feel free to post in the chat if it's easier. But otherwise, you can unmute and speak. We'd love to hear from you. While we're waiting to see if anyone has a question, I'd also invite you to provide us some feedback via the poll that Julia has put in the chat. If you don't mind filling out this form, it gives us really useful feedback on the forum. The other thing I wanted to let you know is that if you would like to reach out to the speakers, they will post their contact information in the chat as well. I see your question, Emmanuel. Thank you very much. Or I think it's a different, I saw you post before. Yeah, so you're from Lusaka. It's great to hear from you. So Emmanuel has asked, does this mean that there is an already established team? And how could we engage again, please?
So is that directed at us as AfriFOODlinks or at the Next Generation Leadership Collective?
I'm not sure. Emmanuel? And thank you, Christine, for dropping your information in the chat. But I guess we could answer Emmanuel's question, both of us. So I can drop a web link to the Next Generation Forum into to the collective itself into the chat. So there's contact opportunities through that. And as Tashi mentioned, the AfriFOODlinks initiative is very contactable and I think interested in engaging across the region.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have set project cities, and so if you do happen to fall in one of those cities, that's great. But otherwise, it's always nice, even if you reach out to chat to us about potential collaboration. Um, yeah, I mean, there'll hopefully be a second phase of AfriFOODlinks. This phase will continue till the end of 2026. But yeah, AfriFOODlinks is a project, but I'm employed by ICLEI Africa and ICLEI World Secretariat, our office in Europe and our office in Africa, are always looking at expanding the work we do in the food system, but it's always with a strong urban focus. So I know when we think food systems, a lot of people do think like agriculture, and we don't exclude agriculture at all. But yeah, we've got a strong focus on improving our urban food systems.
Thanks so much, Tashi. And thanks to Clémentine for posting your information. Also, thank you, Makoma, for your comment. For those who can't see, she says, I don't have any questions. I thoroughly enjoyed the session, and it's so great, inspiring and empowering to hear what others are doing in improving the food environment. I learned a lot and have a good sense how to move from here. Kudos to you all. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody. It's been a real pleasure to connect with everybody via this forum. Thank you again to the storytellers for your participation and engagement. And to everybody, we really hope to see you in subsequent forums. Please sign up to the mailing list if you haven't already. Thank you so much.